Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to kind of talk about my weight loss journey. So growing up, I was always a really big kid. I've always been very heavy set. I loved eating, and unfortunately, childhood obesity is a thing. I mean, I live in America, and it's just like what 50% of Americans are obese. I mean, the numbers are just too high, right? And I'm Korean. That's my ethnicity. So, growing up, I was shamed all the time from family, friends, just bullied because I was a big girl, and that is very uncommon for an Asian girl, pretty much. So, I mean, I used to remember trying my hardest to, you know, growing up trying to lose weight, and I failed miserably because I had issues. I enjoyed eating, I loved to feel full, and unfortunately, you know, I had some very hurtful words to me, and it really shaped my self-esteem, or my lack of self-esteem. And I really sometimes I feel so sad for that little girl. I wish she knew her worth. I wish she knew she was beautiful. I wish, she didn't think she was ugly or stupid because, she was overweight. Now, I'm not going to say not take care of yourself, but I think the way it was brought to my attention was very hurtful growing up. And when I was in high school, I started taking a lot of diet pills, like 6 a day, and I would starve and work out, and I lost about 40 pounds. I think I was like 17. We had a buffet restaurant where I worked as a waitress, so soda, unlimited, Chinese food, Japanese food, it was like fusion, was unlimited. So I just ate all the time. And I got to be at my heaviest. I was 205 pounds. And mind you, I'm a little bit over 5 feet tall. I'm like 5 feet half an inch. Let's just say 5'1". At 205 pounds, that is way too heavy, right? Now some people be like, as long as you're healthy, you're fine. Well, it wasn't healthy for me because I was tired a lot, because I lacked movement, and I ate a lot, and going up and down the stairs in high school was tiring. I just wasn't like a kid doing sports or doing anything. I was just eating and watching TV and just laying around. So when I did lose that weight, I went into college feeling a bit more proud of myself. I must have been maybe like 155, maybe even to 145, can't remember. But I was like a junior size 9 at that time. And I felt good, I felt happy. But you know what, that freshman 15, when you go to college, I just did way more than that. And I went back to my heavy weight. And I was probably like 195 as I started gaining weight again, and eating what I want. I didn't really exercise, and I had low self-esteem. I felt like boys didn't like me because I was a big girl, and that was just how it was. I felt like if you're thin, then you're beautiful, and if you're big, you were unattractive, and that's just really how I felt. And when I was in Korea in my late 20s to teach English, I lost about 45 pounds again. And to be honest, I was actually working out. I wasn't taking this or that. I was exercising with a trainer and eating right, and eating, Korean food has a lot of vegetables. Like, it's called banchan. It's like side dishes like spinach and bean sprouts and all that stuff. And yes, rice is pretty much the center of the plate, but I didn't eat the rice. And I would have the stews or the soups, which had tofu and veggies or chicken and stuff like that. And also I ate smaller portions. I didn't try to gorge myself. And I maintained that while I was there. But when I moved back to the States and I got a boyfriend, then, you know, when you're happy, they say you gain weight, right? I went up to 187. So there I am again, not at my most heaviest, but 187 for like a 5'1" is still, it's still hard on your body. I would get backaches, I would pull my back muscle and I had pinched nerve pain, you know. I had bad posture because I was so heavy. I would sit like this, and then the pinched nerve would just radiate, and it would just, I feel numbing all the way down to my left side of my arm. And I was like, well, I know I could lose some weight, and this probably will alleviate the pain or all of it. But I was like, I don't even know if that's going to happen, and it's a lot of work. So is it worth doing all that to see if it would help? That was my mentality, because eating what I wanted to eat was happiness, right? And just not eating what you want and have to exercise all the time was unhappiness, right? That's just how it was. And I came to Hawaii in 2018. Right now it's 2022, and 2 years ago, I met a mom here. She had hypothyroidism like me, and it's really hard to lose weight. And I found her on Facebook, and she said, I was never able to lose weight, but I take something to help me lose weight. I was like, well, what is this thing that you're talking about? Is it like diet pills? She's like, no. So basically, I'm sure everyone is aware, something called ketogenic diet, keto diet. You do high fats, protein, very little carb, and that will put you into a fat burning mode, and your body will burn your fat for energy, right? And to be honest, I was afraid to ever do keto on its own, because I get really bad migraines. And I heard keto, if you were to cheat and it kicks you off of the keto process, then the headaches will come. And I was like, look, I have horrible chronic migraines. I do not want to deal with that. But she's like, you won't get it with this, because it gives you all the electrolytes. So I was like, I'm going to try it. And let me tell you, the first generation of this, Ketogen, is actually, what is the flavor? Peach strawberry. And you mix it with water or milk. People make it into a smoothie. Some people do it in shots, but it's kind of gross. But some people, because they're doing the keto diet, they put in heavy cream. And that makes it taste pretty sweet, actually. It's pretty good. The second generation is called KG4, and you can see it right here. Okay? And this flavor is citrus orchard. Honestly, I prefer the previous one, but I'm not gonna say it's the best. It's kind of like sweet, but for me, what worked was I would drink this in the morning. It would give me all my vitamins and electrolytes. 1 scoop of this. Mix it in with some water, ice, and heavy cream. And it tasted delicious. So for me, it made it seem like it was just a tasty drink. And I would eat very clean. I would, for what my diet used to be, is very clean. So I would eat like protein and veggies. So I didn't want to overcomplicate it, because I was already making food for my family that I could not eat myself. So I didn't want to do anything, you know, too drastic, and cook for myself and deal with that. So I just had like a like let's say a chicken sausage or two with a side of cucumbers, or I'd have squash and eggplant with some chicken, like just protein and veggies. And mind you, there's carbs and even vegetables, right? So you can't have too much of, let's say, potato, because that's like straight sugar, right? So I didn't have potato. And even like cooked carrots, that could become sugar. So I don't like cooked carrots anyway, so I didn't really have that much. But stuff like squash and eggplant, zucchini, I had to look it up on Google to see how much was too much. But the great thing is, there's an app. I believe it's called Carb Manager. That thing was live for me because I could log in exactly what the food was, and it would tell me the calorie, fat, protein amount, and carb count. So you choose what your diet you're doing, low carb or keto or whatever, and it will plug it in and it will tell you percentage with how far you are to meeting the limit that you have. And for me, I needed that because I don't really measure or weigh my food. And because I have hypothyroidism, weight loss, you guys, is super slow for me. Everyone's like, oh, you're not trying hard. It just, with the hormonal issue I have, you just, not only do you gain weight, but you lose really slowly, even though you don't eat that much. So it took me, I lost 42 pounds in a year. And now some people are like, oh, I could lose that in like 6 months or 4 months with keto. You're right. But like I said, I have a medical condition. So, I mean, it just wasn't as quick. But it's the first time I could actually lose without any exercise. I'm not going to lie. For the first year, I did not exercise. I think a week, because I don't like to exercise much. I do it now, but I'm not a fan. I really have a hard time going, but when I get there, I feel good that I'm there, but getting there is an issue. But, I mean, when you're losing weight, it's important to exercise, to build your muscles so your fat doesn't hang and hopefully it tightens up, but that's also genetics, and people just tighten up better than others. So like I said, heaviest 205, and I went down to 145, and I was maintaining that. I had to quit keto after a year because you can't have any sweets or carbs or very little fruits because of the sugar intake, so it was very challenging. But for a year I did it, and then I was like, okay, I need to take a break. So I was just managing and maintaining my weight, and then COVID was happening, and I'm like, man, I was making bad food choices and eating too much. And then I went from 145 to 159. But then it happened overnight, I was like, 4 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds. I'm like, whatever, it's already too late. I just gained so much. 15. And, 14 pounds. And it's so much work to lose the weight. But for me, gaining it is like so fast, so easy, right? And, I eat with my emotions. If I'm happy, I eat. Meeting people, I eat. If I'm bored, I eat. If I'm sad, I eat. And I didn't really nourish myself into recognizing cues. Am I hungry? Am I just thirsty? Am I bored, right? I would open up that fridge and I'm like, I don't know what's in there, but I'm still going to go open it up because who knows, in the last 15 minutes did something change? You know what I mean? Do you guys relate? Like, do you guys open that fridge and you're just like, what else is there, right? And for me, mind over matter. If I don't have it in my house, then I'm like, I'm not going to go get it because I'm too lazy to go buy the food I need, that I crave, like junk. So I don't really buy it, to be honest. I do let my kids have treats sometimes, but maybe my internal child issues. I am scared that they will have my genetic obese issues and they're going to be big. And that's something I do still struggle with. I do let them enjoy moderation, but I am careful. Like, I really make sure, and they're great eaters, so they eat all the vegetables and fruits and protein. They're really good with all of that. So they're healthy, they're normal. I take them out so they could run around and exercise. I mean, making it a lifestyle, right? So anyway, so I was at 159 because of COVID, and I was like, okay, this is bad. I mean, I am gaining all this weight again, and I work too damn hard to have to go and do this all over again. I'm not going to do it. This is my third time losing about 45 pounds or so. So, to be honest, I had to get back on the grind. I joined the local gym. It's called UFC, you know, that fighting, ultimate fighting, whatever. I don't watch it, but in the cage they fight. They have their own gyms all over the nation, and I joined that one because they have childcare. And I was like, okay, no excuse. They have childcare and they have classes. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna join. And I go. But usually now I go after work because taking the kids and having to do dinner and then take them out and then come back and then you have to go to bed, it's just too much. So I usually go after work. I end work at noon, and then the kids have to be picked up by 2, so I'll go to the gym and then pick up the kids. And to be honest, I am now at the lowest every time I dieted was 145. So 205 down to 145, highest to lowest. And whenever I would diet, that is a number I cannot push by. I would just plateau and it would just drive me nuts. I could not push by. You know, sometimes you have to change it up, right? So, to be honest, I started taking classes that kick my butt. And you know, I don't work out that hard on my own. I don't really push myself that much. But when I do the classes, I mean, there's a coach teaching everybody, and I don't want to be the last one, even though I am. And I'm just dripping ugly sweat. And I'm not much of a sweater, so dripping and exercising. And if I'm really hungry, I just don't say I'm not going to eat. I'll just take a protein shake, especially before I sleep. If I'm hungry, I used to be like, I can't sleep, I'm hungry. I'll just take a protein shake, put extra water, maybe a bit of milk, and just to settle me. And intermittent fasting works wonders for me because I'm not really a breakfast eater unless I'm out with people. I just don't really eat breakfast. I'm just busy getting the kids ready and just dropping off at school and going to work, and then work out, and then come home after the kids are picked up. So that's about 2:30. So that's when I eat, right? And I might not be hungry for the rest of the day. So I did that, and it's not a religious situation where I'm like, I cannot eat. If I'm hungry, I'm just going to eat. But I really try to work on my portions because I have a tendency to overeat. I have a tendency to want to clean my plate. I have a tendency to keep eating if it's good. And so what I do is if I have food in the fridge, I'll purposely not put as much as I think I can eat, because what happens is I'll try to finish the plate if I put too much. So what I do is now I put a little bit, you know, what I feel I'm comfortable with, and I'll eat it. And if I'm hungry, I could go get some more instead of forcing myself to eat the extra if I pour too much, because sometimes my eyes are bigger than my mouth, right? I'm like, I'm going to eat everything. I can eat everything. But in reality, I'm eating. I'm like, oh, I got too much. That's what worked for me, guys. Maybe you should try it. Get a smaller plate. Don't put as much as you used to. Put half of that and see if that fills you up. If it doesn't, then no problem. You can always get some more. But you don't want to go and overeat, right? If that's an issue that you have. And right now I'm sitting at 139 pounds. So I have broken my plateau of being at 145, and I've lost 6 pounds from that weight. So my recent weight loss was from gaining all the weight from COVID, 14 pounds, so sitting at 159, and that was beginning of December 2021 is when I decided to go on my new lifestyle, right? So 159 to 139, and right now it's the last day, March 31st, 2020. So we're talking what? I think that's 4 months. December, January, February, March. 4 months I've lost 20 pounds. Now some people were like, wow, that's like only 5 pounds a month. That's really slow. It is slow, but they say that's kind of like the healthy way you're supposed to lose a pound a week. The faster you lose it, the faster you gain it. And I don't want to gain it. And I'm proud of myself because I broke my plateau that I've never been able to go lower than 145. And that's a victory for me. I used to think of it as like, oh, yeah, I've lost like 66 pounds, but I just have like another 20 more pounds to go. It's just so much. I would fixate on how much more I had to lose. And let me tell you, why should I do that and focus on how much I have to lose? I mean, yes, that is the true fact, but why don't I focus on celebrating the fact that I was victorious and lost 66 pounds? I mean, and maintaining weight loss, you guys, is part of the battle. It's hard, you know. Women, we fluctuate. We get our flow, our period cycle, and then we start gaining, right? I mean, obviously it's bloating, but I'm saying just our weight fluctuates. And for me, I know some people like weigh yourself once a week. For me, I don't do that because for me, if I get too comfortable and I don't see the number, sometimes my clothes are kind of stretchy, then I'm like, oh, I'm fine. And the next thing you know is like, boom, I gained all this weight. So for me, I like to keep accountable and knowing where I'm at every single day in the morning. And if that's not you, that's fine. People say, please measure yourself. I did that when I was doing the keto diet and I lost like, the 42 pounds. But now I just let it be. I just get rid of my clothes. I was size 16 when I was at my heaviest of 205. And then when I was maintaining, I was about size 8 or 10. Right now, sitting at 139. If it's like stretchy jeans, you know what I mean? Like you got that fabric, it's not just cotton. I think I could wear a 6. I've tried some on and they do fit. Size 28 women's jeans at Madewell. They have a little stretch, but they fit. And I do wear size 8 still. Size 10 is too big for me now. So for me, my excitement is getting rid of the clothes that are too big and getting new ones. And my mom's always like, stop buying so many clothes if you're not going to stay at that weight. But I know that, but I get excited when I could fit into a smaller pair of clothes. And then I bought Lululemon. I know, you're like, that thing is expensive. But I worked really, 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 really hard, you guys, to lose my weight, being obese all my life. So I was told by a friend that it's really well worth it. It's really nice. It compresses. It feels good. And you know what? It feels good. And I enjoy wearing them. And those have a stretch to it. So I bought them in size 6. I know people are like, don't do that, you're going to ruin the fabric. But for me, I like the compression. I feel more put together, Like people wear shapers. It's not like to that point, but I'm saying it just feels good to me. And I'm like a true medium. My upper body, I would say, is bigger. So if you guys look at me, you're like, oh, I don't know about that. It's probably the angle, but I'm wide here. And well, my belly is kind of bigger too, but I have more weight up here, I would say. And my arms, besides my stomach, is probably my biggest pet peeve, because that seems to go the source for me. Sometimes I look at my arms and I'm like, oh, I want to wear a tank top so bad. And I know people are like, who cares, wear it. But I have a complex about it, you guys. Shorts, no problem, but my arms, I still feel like I'm not comfortable. And sometimes if you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable, you know what I mean? I've worn it a few times, tank tops outside, but it doesn't feel like I'm ready yet. I don't. So, because I could show you my arms. So, see, even at 139, my arms to me feel big. And as you know, I've lost a good amount of weight, and so this is where it's at here, my issue. So if I go up like this, it doesn't seem that bad, but like this, you know, this is pretty bad. And I'm like so embarrassed to show you and for the internet to see. But hey, we all might feel a certain type of way with some parts of our bodies, and that's me, and I'm telling you that's how I feel. And I do arm workouts to tighten it up, but I just need to lose overall more body fat and it will shrink, because I can't make this all muscle. I don't think I can. Or if I want to, I don't want to have like arms like muscular like that. For me, that's not my style. So I would rather lose more weight, and that as it gets smaller, I continue doing weights. But I just wanted to let you guys know, for those who have struggled so hard to lose weight and you've tried everything, because I have tried so many things, you guys. For me, doing keto, but especially this putting me in keto mode, right? So I'm just gonna read it to you on the back what it says, okay? Ketogen's 4 cutting-edge formula has been carefully designed for people just like yourself who want to quickly reach the highly efficient fat-burning state of ketosis. Our exclusive 4-BHB salt combo provides an immediate source of exogenous ketones, vital vitamins, and nutrients to put you in the optimal state of ketosis while ensuring you feel your absolute best. So 6 days a week, dissolve 1 scoop in 10 to 12 ounces of water and mix well. Best to take in the morning with a meal to optimize absorption and nutrients. And there's a lot of vitamins here and natural this and that. Honestly, I'm not going to read through it all, but this is kind of expensive. When I bought it from the distributor, it was like $130, I would say, and it lasts like a month. If you go on eBay, I believe people still sell it for way cheaper. I think like a few months back I checked, it was like $30 or something. I mean, this for me is what I needed, because I wanted to try keto, but I didn't want to get headaches, and this continuously put me in the fat burning mode. Even if I did cheat, in about 1 or 2 hours, you're back in the keto burning phase with this. If you do it without it, I mean, it depends on everybody's body, but it can take up to 2 weeks to get into that fat burning mode, I was told when I researched myself. And so I was like, well, I don't care, I'm going to try it. And it did wonders for me. So this is my testament to you, that when you feel like you've tried every single thing and you're like, it just isn't working, maybe give something else a try. I know that some people don't want to take anything, but it's natural. It's not like drugs. As far as drugs, like, you know, what do you call those? Ambrosia or something? I mean, those are natural too, I guess, but they're kind of diet pills, I guess. But this is just to help you get into that keto burning mode. But yeah, feel free to message me. Comment below to ask questions. I'm open ears. If you want to vent about your struggles, please do. I have struggled myself. I still struggle with it. Sometimes I'm like, kind of feeling like, I have so much more to go. I mean, some days are good, you guys, and some days are bad. That's just how I roll. Like, some days I'm like, I lost so much. Some days I'm like, oh, I still have a lot to go. But people are seeing my weight loss, and they're saying great compliments to me that make me feel powerful and happy. I'm full of gratitude that I'm able to, you know, continue this journey and with my support of my family and friends. So if you don't like to exercise, that keto works for you. I probably hope so. You have to be careful about taking your too much fat intake, because people are doing like bacon and like the worst kind of fats. Like if you're doing healthy fats like salmon, olive oil, coconut oil, like stuff like that, healthy fats like nuts, these are good. I would not stick to so much bacon because, you know, it's not the best kind of fat. But hey, if that's the only way you could do it, then that's the only way. You don't want to get high cholesterol doing this. So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I will continue my health journey and post videos and let you know. If I'm gaining, I'll let you know. If I'm losing more, I'll let you know. I would love to be a solid true size 4. When I mean true size 4, I mean like I don't need stretch and they're gonna fit, right? True size 4. And I would like to be like about maybe 120 pounds. I am really short, so that is not considered too thin. I think my weight from my height, anywhere from maybe like 100 to 105. That's like the low end. And high end is like 127. So I'm right there, being at 120. So I would love to feel like I could wear a tank top. Maybe you guys can encourage me, and I will soon hopefully wear it. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this was, I don't know if it was entertaining or if you learned something from it, but I hope you did. Talk to you guys later. Bye.